Hey, Rethinkers, this is Mary Burris. I'm here with William Massie, and this is a client interview. And I'm just gonna ask William some questions about what it was like to work with Rethink Fitness. So, good morning, William. How are you today?
Doing well, Mary. How about yourself?
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So, the first question I want to ask you is, what was going on with you that made you reach out to Rethink Fitness?
Yeah, so I reached out to Rethink, I guess, back in maybe August of 2020, I think it was. That's right. Yep. And had been for the last couple of years. I'm a relatively active person, like to play a lot of basketball, a lot of golf. Yeah, anything outdoors and active I'm in for. But had been having some lower back issues for the last couple of years. They had always, kind of up to that point in my life had kind of resolved themselves, with a couple of weeks. But I got to the point where it wasn't resolving itself anymore. So I had tried a lot of different things. I had tried lots of rest. I tried physical therapy. I tried dry needling and some other things to try and take care of this. And none of those things had, fully taken care of the problem. So,
Hey Al, thanks for joining us. So there's Al Condi,
Al,
the other half of Rethink Fitness, and he's just joined our interview today. So just started asking William, like, what was it that made him want to sign up with Rethink Fitness? So he was talking about other things that he tried. So William, that pain that you had in your lower back, that was like I remember you telling me that you were spending a lot of time just managing that pain. What was that costing you? And by the way, can you tell everybody how old you were when you started working with us?
yeah, so I'm 33 now. When I reached out to the Rethink Squad, I was 32. So,
Yeah. So 32 years old, chronic back pain, right? And
uh,
what was
yeah,
that costing you?
yeah. So the biggest thing that it was costing me was the ability to do things that I love, like play basketball, play golf, be active, um, kind of on a more consistent level. Yeah, like Mary mentioned, I was actively having to manage it pretty much all the time. So whenever I was sitting around or even just walking or moving around, it was always trying to figure out ways to um, tweak my body or tweak my movements to relieve the pain as much as possible. Yeah, and at that point, before I had met the Rethink Fitness team, I had no idea how to properly manage it. So I'm sure we'll cover this in a bit, but one of the things that I really enjoy most about y'all is that y'all teaching me and giving me the tools to work through that. So, yeah.
So what was the pain range for you on a
Yeah, so it would
like on a
come and
scale from 1 to
go.
10?
Yeah, so kind of on a consistent basis, it was pretty, I would say, relatively low grade, maybe like a 3-ish. But there would be time, I would feel pretty good about myself and it would have rested for a couple of days and I'd be like, oh, like I'm gonna go try to play golf or do something like that. And then the pain would kick up to, a 6 or 7 or somewhere in that range for a day or so. So it was kind of up and down based off of my activity levels and how well I took care of it. But there was always, I was in constant, at least low grade pain for a pretty good while.
So would you say that it was also costing you time? Like, you would get to a place where you felt like you could go play golf and then you were like out for 3 days, right? Or a couple days or
Yeah, yeah. I would play golf or play basketball and mess it up again. And yeah, for the next couple of days, it would be like, it would be rough, like going to work and having to sit in a chair. Yeah, the time, it definitely cost me time, but honestly, the thing that it cost me the most was just brain space. I was always having to think about it and it dominated my life.
So that's what I was going to say. What were you always worried about, or were you always in fear that of your next injury?
Yeah, and I wouldn't call it my next injury. I would just kind of call it like the next flare up.
The next, right?
But
the re-injury.
Whenever like before I did any physical activity, it was like, all right, I'm probably this is gonna hurt myself here probably. But I liked being active so much that I would be an idiot and I would still do those things and put myself through it.
It sounds exhausting. Like, it sounds really exhausting to have to think that way, or, then have to deal with that on a regular basis.
Yeah, and it really associates fear, with what you love. It's very,
So what was it like working with us?
I got put in touch with the Rethink team by a family member who had used y'all, and y'all did the initial assessment and were very upfront about everything. And starting to work with y'all was great. I mean, I think I probably started to notice improvement relatively quickly, certainly within the first month.
I think your back pain was very much improved within just the first month, if I recall properly.
I think that's right. And
what was the first benefit?
The first benefit was not having to think about the fact that my back is in pain 24 hours every waking moment of my life. So that just kind of the mental relief, and also kind of like the long term, like, holy smokes, I'm finally doing something that's actually working and bringing benefits. Like, maybe I will be able to get back to the point where I can, be active consistently and not have that end in great pain. Just hope was a big initial benefit as well.
So I just want to interject here for people who are watching that William was an absolute model client to work with, because he did everything we asked him to do, including some things that were a little bit out of his comfort zone, like meditating. And I think starting yoga was out of your comfort zone initially too. What would you?
I mean, I had never done yoga before. I was super inflexible. I'm now less inflexible, but
I forgot that about you. You came a long way.
So, but I mean, I had tried so many things that, I was at the point where I was going in and I was like total open mind. Whatever Mary and Al suggest, I'm going to give it a go and go 100% on it, because, it could help. So, I very much followed all of their directions. I was, it was at a point in my life, in my work life, where I wasn't working a ton because of coronavirus and the effects of that. So I had the time, which was, that was a really nice coincidence.
We were able to get a lot done in a short period of time because you had a lot of time to work on the stuff. So
William, I love how Mary thinks that there are people who, for yoga, is not that hard. I'm like, yoga's hard for everyone.
It was hard for me in the beginning too.
It's hard for everyone. It's hard. In the beginning.
Yeah, people forget, I've been doing this for over 20 years now, practicing yoga regularly for over 20 years. And it's like, hey, when I started, I couldn't squat either. And I was in my 40s. I was in my 30s and my late 30s, and I couldn't do a squat or, I mean, I could always touch the floor with my hands, but that's just freakish. My body is just does that. There were a lot of things I couldn't do. And so it was a journey, but back to William. So tell me about the results. What were the results that you got from working with us?
I mean, the most tangible result was that the pain went away. That was huge. Other things, I was able to go back and, be active and do things like playing basketball and golf and whatnot, be able to do those things and not be in pain afterwards, and not worry about going into those things being like, I'm about to go play basketball and it's going to, for the next 3 days after that, I'm going to be, off the grid or whatever.
So you could do these things that bring you joy with confidence that you were going to still feel good.
Yeah, that I would feel good. Yeah, I mean, muscle soreness, standard stuff afterwards, but yeah, no pain or no feelings of, oh, I threw my back out, or I threw something else out.
So it's been a while since we worked together. We stopped working actively with you in the spring, right?
Yeah, I think it was maybe March of 2021. So we're at about 9 months now.
Yeah. So what are the long-term results? How are you feeling today, for example? And
still feeling great. Still doing all those things that I love to do. I think one of the best things about what y'all did with me is that you gave me the tools to kind of, I don't want to say manage, but to, be better about taking care of my body going forward on my own. So I spend time rolling around on balls and foam rollers that I have sitting right over here in my family room on a pretty regular basis. Get a yoga practice in every now and then as well. So that, and then also just a lot of what y'all did was kind of teaching me how my body should move, how I should activate different parts of my bodies when I'm doing certain movements and whatnot. And that's always, top of my mind too. So just giving me the toolbox to really, manage it on my own.
So what was something that surprised you, or that was unexpected that you gained, or something we did that was surprising that worked for you? Anything that was what?
Yeah, so at a high level, I was relatively surprised that yoga and rolling around on balls and whatnot, like all that works. Because not to say that that's untraditional, but
but it is.
It is relatively untraditional. I know it's growing up. Yeah, just going to the doctor, like go to the doctor and go get it fixed somehow. Or if you're hurt, you lay around and you rest and you do nothing until it feels better.
Right.
So you guys take a completely different approach than that. So
it's funny. I really like the word that you were going to use and then didn't. I like that. In that we really, it's one of our goals is to help you learn how to maintain yourself, so
sustainable
that
fitness,
over longer periods of time. And so hopefully, and it sounds like you feel like you have a foundation, from which to not only keep yourself pain-free, but if you want to do something else, you have a modality with which to go figure out how to do that, safely. You have the basics down, and I know what safe movements are, and I know how well I can get to those safe movements, and that's the work. So then you go do whatever you.
So
anyway, I'm really happy to hear that. That's great.
So would you recommend Rethink Fitness to other people?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, 100% recommend you guys. I mean, from my perspective, you guys were lifesavers, because if if life had continued for me how it was going, not being able to be active and do the things that I love to do, it would be a totally different life for me. So
I'm tearing up.
I mean, I couldn't be happier that I chose to work with you guys. So
I love that.
Thank you. Well, you know what? We really enjoyed working with you too. You did a great job.
And I love that that you're, a young person, and that you decided you wanted to take care of this now instead of waiting until you were even more miserable and broken down. And I mean, no, really, that's commendable, because I think a lot of people in your age range think it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it,
Right.
and it's going to go away or whatever. And I'm just so excited that this all worked out so well for you. So
Yeah. Well, there's a history of back surgeries in my family. So one of my life goals is to not get back surgery.
oh, that's
Stay off the
awesome
table.
that you were able to take care of that. And a lot of people go, oh, it's genetic. And it's like, no, not necessarily.
Yeah.
So awesome. Thanks, William, for agreeing to chat with us today, and for all of your great information for all of the people who are watching. And we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you guys so much. One of the things about the two of you that I also really appreciated is that, we're friends now. It was never just you guys are trying to heal my body or whatever. It's that, we became friends. So
I like to think so too.
how you helped me, and I'll cherish your friendship as well.
And what's great about William is he lives in my neighborhood. So sometimes I just get to see him randomly and say hi. And he introduced me as his yoga guru. That's really cool. So thanks.
I know. I
so much.
always hear about William sightings.
Yeah, that's right. William sightings. It's true. Well, thank you so much. And we're glad that everything worked out for you.
Yep. Thank y'all.